with the biggest story in the country, the criminal probe intensifying into Rudy Giuliani. A story that touches not only on everything we lived through over the last 4 years, but where we're headed now as a nation and what it means, of course, for an ex-president who remains under criminal investigation for trying to steal an election. What's new is the feds now have Giuliani's phone and electric devices and computer after raiding his apartment and office. Giuliani himself now speaking out for the very first time on what he's up against and the raid. Here's what he says.
The report on WABC a moment ago is that the search warrant involves my pressuring Ukrainian officials on behalf of President Trump. Nothing of the sort. The search warrant involves something totally opposite. Search warrant is one act of failing to register as a failing to file as a foreign agent, which is completely false.
This is Mr. Giuliani's response and defense. We want to bring it to you. We're not able at this time to fact check it yet, although all of this is coming through different reporting and sources. What he is asserting is that the issue at hand, and he says the only issue, was an alleged failure to register as a foreign agent. And as you just heard, he's denying that he actually made that failure. Now, we don't know what else is coming. But for a judge to approve this type of search warrant, they believe Giuliani has evidence of a crime. Now, Donald Trump's DOJ tried to hold back this search, according to the New York Times. And today, I mentioned to you how big a story this is. It touches on 2 Justice Departments. It touches on the insurrection. It touches on whether Donald Trump broke laws in 2 plots against the Bidens, basically. The first one, of course, with the Ukraine malfeasance, and the second one, what we all just recently lived through, the effort led by Rudy Giuliani to overturn a lawful election. So the new president understandably asked about this. President Biden telling our colleague, MSNBC's Craig Melvin, he did not know about this federal raid beforehand.
Were you aware of that raid before it happened?
I give him my word I was not. I made a pledge. I would not interfere in any way, order, or try to stop any investigation the Justice Department had underway. I learned about that last night when the rest of the world learned about it.
That's very interesting. And whatever happens in this case, of course, it's a marked contrast to how Donald Trump tried to illicitly control aspects of the government that are supposed to be independent. There you have the president, knows what a big ticket issue this is. We're literally talking about raiding a lawyer who represented the former president. And he says, on his honor, you heard it, he didn't know about it in advance and he wouldn't want to because he respects DOJ independence. We're also learning about a voicemail between Giuliani and Joseph Bondi. He's the lawyer for indicted Giuliani associate Lev Parnas that investigators might be interested in. In this call, you have Giuliani instructing Bondi to call him back at a redacted number, quote, the soon-to-be gotten rid of number. Very interesting. And this is apparently a quite thorough investigation. Politico reports the FBI now interviewed a former Ukrainian lawmaker last year about Giuliani's activities there. And we're learning the warrants include an allegation of what Giuliani mentioned in that audio I played you tonight, that he failed to register as a foreign agent. Now, you may recall we've shown video of Giuliani in Ukraine, a trip that he admitted was taken on Trump's behalf for his Ukraine plot. He said, quote, we're not meddling in an election. We're meddling in an investigation. This isn't foreign policy, and that he was going there to help his client, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and there was nothing illegal about it. Well, that's his view, and he is a lawyer, and he used to run the Southern District of New York. But right now, the people who do run the Southern District of New York, with its massive federal investigative powers, as I'm reporting to you, they think there may be illegal things here. They convinced a judge there may be evidence of a crime, whether that's committed by Giuliani or someone else, in Giuliani's apartment. As we've told you in our reports before, these legal questions are ultimately not up to the people involved, the defendants or the people tweeting or the people making all kinds of conspiracy theories about other people. The legal questions are resolved in our system, first through the investigative process, and ultimately, if there is a trial, through our legal process. It's up to those processes to decide. Giuliani admitting that during this trip, he was there because Trump asked him to go there, something that Trump even denied.
The President of the United States, I can tell you this, is asking for this.
Didn't direct him to go to Ukraine to do anything or put any heat on him?
No, I didn't direct him, but he is a warrior. Rudy's a warrior.
Quote, I didn't direct him. Spoken like someone who's been in and out of a courtroom and legal processes for a long time. Whatever you think of Donald Trump, he understands from experience how to say the words criminal defense lawyers tell you to say. You didn't direct it. You weren't involved. You relied on others. None of this looks like good news for Rudy Giuliani, although as we've reported, he denies any wrongdoing. He hasn't been charged with anything. Meanwhile, I mentioned the Southern District. A former U.S. attorney there, Assistant U.S. Attorney Dana Perry, says it's a clear indication they're close, very close, to indicting him. Executing the search warrant is almost the last step in the playbook